very bland and boring, and Stafford's steamy sounds kinda annoyed me a little when I first watched this 10 years ago. Nasty farewell to the Scottish twins, and they were basically like Bill and Ben in this episode, but much worse. Like, who would want to watch an episode of engines constantly arguing with each other? Like, I don't know, fucking toddlers or something. Henry was very out of character in this, and I think Percy would have been much better for this, as he's the more naive and gullible type, not Henry. Especially for Spencer and Henry thinking Sir Topham Hatt was the abominable snowman. That, of course, was just stupid because I think the abominable snowman in real life, which I don't believe in, would be much taller than Sir Topham Hatt. Fall into dark devotion. I know Daisy could be a jerk sometimes, but in this, by God, she was just a giant bitch in this one. Like, Sir Topham Hatt should have been more specific about the show the entertainers were going to put on, and she was kind of a jackass to Ryan when she saw him at Bluff's Cove. Not to mention Thomas mentioning Daisy that she was going to go to Misty Island. Ugh. Easily Samson's worst episode. Taking far too many trucks just to save time? This doesn't make any damn sense. Worst season 21 episode ever, and worst Harvey episode. Harvey was just a stupid moron in this. Like, why do you think it's terrible to ask for help? Like, you could have gone to the Steamworks to have that stupid branch removed. That way, your derailment wouldn't have happened. Samson really had shit for brains for thinking Tom Tipper's bike, the bus stop sign, and Sir Topham Hatt's car were junk. This is why Samson is my least favorite character created by Andrew Brenner. Very unrealistic for Henry to go to the Steamworks after his crash. And why does the entire search and rescue team have to save Rocky themselves? Why can't it be Judy and Jerome? That could have been a much more better way to get a derailed crane back on the rails instead of just an entire rescue team arguing with each other and all that other bullshit. When you write a story about Henry, he has to be a scaredy engine over something he clearly cannot get. This is honestly the worst Henry episode of the entire Brenner era. Samson still had shit for brains in this episode by taking Gordon's coaches to the quarry, and how the hell did he not notice? Along with his crew. It's like as if they're just fucking idiots or something like that. Also, why the hell did Samson not believe the other engines when they told him that he was making another mistake? Thomas, Percy, and Toby were out of character by being afraid of all things, a stupid cow, and thought it was a troll. Come on, you three. You know trolls don't exist. They're only part of a stupid fairy tale. Thomas, Henry, and maybe Emily were out of character in this by being afraid of all things, wind blowing through the pipes. This episode is just one of the stupidest episodes of season 18, which I say, in my opinion, it's much worse than the 2 Samson episodes from season 18. The worst season 18 episode and worst CGI Toby episode. Like, for fuck's sake, Toby. You've been across Natford Junction like, what, 1,000 times by then? Even then, Toby was very out of character in this by being afraid of a stupid junction. Like, why do you not know your signals when you've been on Sodor for many years? This episode was just annoying to me. I mean, I like children, but doing all that baby-related stuff? Yuck. The worst season 19 episode, and probably the worst episode of the entire Brenner era. This is basically a terrible rewritten version of Thomas's Shortcut, and everything else about this is very unrealistic and shit. Like, the crash is very unrealistic too.